Good morning to each one. I'd like to make you aware that council meetings are available live through Zoom, and recordings may be posted online on County of Huron's YouTube channel. You may be seen and or heard as part of these broadcasts, and your name, comments, and or presentation materials will become part of the public record. And with that, I'd like to call this meeting to order. And first up is the approval of the agenda. Is there someone willing to do that for us? That would be Councillor Finch. Councillor Anderson would second that. Those in favor? That is carried. Is there any pecuniary interest that anyone needs to declare at this time? Seeing none, we'll go on to the minutes of the previous meeting. Is there any errors or omissions to address? And if not, I'd be looking for motion to adopt. So that is past Warden McNeil. Councillor McClellan would second that. Those in favor? That is carried. Under delegations, we have Mad Huron-Bruce here to make a presentation to us. So we'd welcome Brenda Orr and Linda McDonald to come up to the podium, please. And we look forward to your presentation. Go ahead when you are ready.
First of all, thank you for letting us come and speak to you today. I'm Brenda Orr, and this is Linda McDonald, and we are both board members of Mad Huron-Bruce. Mad Huron-Bruce was founded 30 years ago this year by parents of 3 young victims of impaired driving, and Linda is one of those parents. Hundreds of people are killed every year across Canada, and thousands more are injured by impaired driving. And the sad part about that is this is 100% preventable. Mad Huron-Bruce has purchased 2 road signs, you can see up on the screen there, that encourage drivers to call 911 if they suspect an impaired driver. The signs are 8 feet by 4 feet, and we would like to place these on your Huron County roads. Of course, we want to put them somewhere where they're not going to impede snow removal and line of sight, and we would be responsible for any maintenance to these signs. Mad Huron-Bruce believes that these signs will help save lives. Not only does impaired driving cause devastation to the family members and friends and the victims of those who are injured or killed, but it costs millions of dollars every year. Policing costs. I'm a retired police officer, and just a routine impaired driving stop takes that office, the investigating officer and the breath tech off the road for 3 hours minimum. And that's not including if it was a accident or, God forbid, a fatality. Then there's multiple officers that are off the road for several hours, road closures, fire department, paramedics, coroners. So the costs there are substantial. And then the court costs, road closures, road destruction, insurance increases, medical costs. And some Huron County statistics, 41% of impaired drivers that are charged are the result of a collision. So it's a high number that causes this. And 63% of all impaired drivers that are caught, just the ones that are caught, are from people calling in. So that's what these signs are meant to do, is to get more people to call in. And so hopefully we can stop all of this. We would like to say we invented these signs, but we didn't. There's several across Ontario in different regions like Durham, Elliott Lake, Halton, Hamilton, Courthouse Lakes, Kingston, Ottawa, Sudbury, Timmins, Waterloo, Windsor, York, Peel, Renfrew, Simcoe County, London. So it would be nice if we could have them also in Huron County. I've had some conversation with Mr. Khalid about the high traffic roads in Huron County, and it would be nice if we could have them there. And if you approve it, if we could get them put in before the ground freezes. And another statistic is that, and I have no idea why, George, you might know, but the highest number of impaireds in Huron County are in November. So if we could have them up, it would be great if we could do that. And now I will let Linda speak about the firsthand experience and devastation of impaired driving.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for allowing me to do this. I'll just give you a brief story here about a mother, her daughter, and the mother's co-worker. It was a bright sunny morning, and the mother left to go to college to pick up her daughter to bring her home for the Christmas holidays. Shortly after arriving home, she asked the daughter to take her to work. After her shift, the mother called the daughter and asked her if she could come and pick her and the co-worker up. They talked for a few minutes, hung up, said goodbye, but they never made it home. An impaired drunk driver came down streets, several streets, at a high rate of speed through many stop signs, crossed broadside into their car, pushing them a block and a half, and they 3 were all taken to the local hospital. The mother was the only one who survived, and there was not much hope given for her survival. She was flown to Toronto, to a hospital in Toronto. She was there for approximately 2 weeks. The first week and a half she spent in intensive care, does not remember much that happened there, and made funeral arrangements with her husband for her daughter. She remembers nothing of that, nothing, no friends, no family even visiting. After a week, 2.5 weeks, she was returned to a local hospital to recover. Approximately a month later, she became very ill and sick again and was taken to London Hospital, where she underwent surgery to remove many pockets of poison in her chest wall and also to repair a collapsed left lung. She spent 4 months in the hospital and did come home. Now the daughter, the oldest daughter that took her to work and to pick her up, before she left that evening to pick her mother up, her sister and brother were at home, and she turned to her sister and said, "I love you." That were the last words that her younger sister heard her say. The mother was never able to attend the funeral because she was fighting for her life. These signs are very, very important. We need to put them up there. We've got to stop this devastation. The family has been really hurt and still does. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies, for telling us and sharing that.
I'm not mother.
So I'm going to go to County Council. The request is to put some signs up, and go ahead, Councillor Finch.
Yeah, I think this is something we really need to look at and support wholeheartedly. Whether it means coming back with a report or acting on it sooner than later, I'm not sure what council's wishes are, but clearly we have to be partners in this, in supporting our citizens. And impaired driving has been a problem for generations, and it's not getting any better. So there's something we can do by putting signs up. To me, it's a very simple act on our behalf to do that. So I look to council for support in either report or doing something better than that.
Councillor Klopp, please.
I think the staff can know where to put the posts. I don't think we need to have a report to come back. All due respect, I know it's a process, but I'd make a motion that we direct our road department to put these signs at a place that MAD thinks is a good spot to be at. And that's my motion.
So that's a motion put forward by Councillor Klopp. Is there a seconder for that? And it's Councillor Finch. And I'm just going to make council aware that there would be the need for an exemption to our sign bylaw to make this happen. So just so that council's aware of that. Go ahead,
Would
Councillor
that be a friendly addition to the amendment? And further be it resolved, council recognizes that we are, whatever term you wish to use.
And I'm going to turn to our clerk just to make sure the wording is something that would suit.
So as this motion is actually not printed in the agenda, generally we do read out the motion. So with your indulgence, Councillor Klopp and Councillor Finch, can I suggest the Council of the County of Huron approve the request by MAD Huron Bruce for an exemption to the sign bylaw for the installation of 2 signs. There is the discussion of cost allocation on this one. So if you want to include that the county pays the cost or MAD pays the cost, we can have that discussion. Or so an exemption to the sign bylaw for the installation of 2 signs by the County of Huron. That's it.
Councillor Klopp, as a mover, or does that work for you?
The issue of cost, would that be a separate motion for clarity? I'll put it in that the cost is, well, I'll make it a discussion, I guess. Put it in that the cost is covered by the county, I guess, for 2 signs. See where that goes.
And the mover agrees to that.
Yeah, I believe the signs are actually paid for. Is that correct?
Yes, the signs are already made and paid for.
So it's just installation of the signs, the posts, and I would ask maybe if Mr. Imran Khalid would have a comment on that.
He's ready for that. Go ahead, Imran, please.
Thank you, Mr. Warden, through you. Generally speaking, in a case like this, the county would install the signs. It's really a matter of, do we charge back Matt for it or not? It's a negligible cost at the end of the day.
Councillor Finch.
I think if we want to be partners, we absorb that cost of installation.
Okay, so the motion then is,
The Council of the County of Huron approve the request by MAD, Huron Bruce, for an exemption to the sign bylaw for the installation of 2 signs with the cost of installation paid by the County of Huron. If that's okay with Councillor Klopp and Councillor Finch, the mover and the seconder.
so that is the motion put forward. Council, any discussion on that motion? No discussion. Those in favor of that motion? And that is carried unanimously.
Thank you so much.
And we're just going to have a motion to receive the presentation as well, just for the clerk's record. So that's past Warden McNeil. Councillor Noel would second that. Those in favor? And that is carried. And thank you, ladies, for presenting to us this morning. Is there any councillor comments at this time in the agenda? Seeing none, we'll move on to items 7.1 to 7.7, our consent agenda. And I'll ask, is there any specific items on that consent agenda that anybody wants to speak to? And Councillor McClellan, you have something.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. I just wanted to talk a little bit, or if Imrad could give us just a quick verbal update on 7.4. In there, he talks about the winter road closure notification. I just wondered if he could expand on that just a little bit and how that's going to be different than previous years after last year, the challenging year it was last year, and the lack of information that was on the internet, et cetera. I just wonder if you could expand on that. Thank you.
Imran, you prepared to answer that?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Warden, through you. Yeah, so we've been working on a digital platform and along with the OPP to update the public about road closures through the winter. So the OPP will be inputting the information for the road closure. It will be Municipal 511 where it is displayed. And our intention is to have a map of the road closures on the county website as well. So whereas in the past we've directed the residents to the OPP Twitter page for updates, there's a specific page for road closure throughout the province. So there's Municipal 511 and Ontario 511. So our closures will be posted on Municipal 511.
Okay, thank you, Imran. Any other specific asks out of this list on the consent agenda? If not, then I'd be looking for motion to receive these items. And that is made by Councillor Heffer, seconded by Councillor Becker. Those in favor? And that is carried. So Jamie Koskamp is available for questions under the Safe Homes for Youth Service Agreement, if there is any questions. Councillor Anderson, please.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. I'm just wondering, when I read the report, it said it was 100 ministry funded, but the county is contributing money. So what happens if the county no longer contributes some money and we just provide the service within what the ministry is allocating?
Jamie, please.
So through you, Warden. So this specific program is 100% funded through our ministry funding. So if the ministry funding is no longer, then this would be a program that we would either have to look for alternative forms of funding, or we would have to come back to the county and ask for levy dollars. When it comes to the levy ask, those are separate programs that are also funded with HPP or ministry dollars. Yes.
Follow up, Councillor Anderson.
Thank you. Well, I would like to see it that if we're going to have it 100% ministry funded, that the county doesn't contribute the $20,000 that I'd read in the report.
Jamie, please.
So just to clarify, this money is 100% coming from the ministry. It's not a county. It's not a levy ask. Yeah. Yes, this is 100% funded by ministry. It's not a levy ask. This is just more of a sharing information with council to let them know that this is where our allocations are going.
Okay. Any other questions for Jamie on this report? Seeing none, then is there anyone willing to put forward a motion? That motion is put forward by Past Warden Ginn, seconded by Councillor Finch. Those in favor? And that is carried. And Jamie, you're here for the Salvation Army Suncoast Citadel Service Agreement as well. And I'll go to council. Is there any questions on this agreement that anyone has? Councillor Anderson, please.
Okay, thank you, Warden. So my question is going to be the same as the last one. So the money that we put into that is out of the ministry funding as well.
Through you, Warden. Yes, that's correct.
Okay, any further questions on this report? Seeing none, then on what is council's wish on this report? Councillor Finch would put the motion forward that we have in our package, and Councillor Noel would second that motion. I'm going to call the question. Those in favor of that motion? And that is carried. Thank you, Jamie, for being here. And Barb Hall is going to present to us the service agreement addendum concerning the Bridge Housing and Stability Program. And Barbara, when you're ready, go ahead.
Thank you, Warden, and through you to members of council. The Canadian Mental Health Association Huron Perth Addiction and Mental Health Services, known for the rest of this report as CMHA, has successfully delivered the first year of the Bridge Housing and Stability Program on behalf of the County of Huron. This innovative housing-focused initiative supports adults and traditional-aged youth experience homelessness, helping them transition into permanent, safe, and affordable housing while improving their overall quality of life. Delivered through CMHA's Heart to Home team, the program integrates skilled staff, facilities, and management expertise to provide participants with direct support in areas including housing, stability, health, and social inclusion. Operating under a housing first model, the program fosters recovery and self-sufficiency through wraparound services and collaborative partnerships with many community organizations. Housing for the program includes 2 county-owned units, leased month to month by CMHA. So we pulled 2 units out of stock the year before, and a 6-bedroom transitional housing property in Goderich, which is owned by CMHA, all dedicated to bridge housing participants. So we pulled program outcomes for the last 10 months. So that was November 1st to the end of September. So last year until this year. 86 individuals were registered in the program since November. 36 participants are actively engaged. 26 individuals are currently waitlisted for supports. 10 individuals have been diverted to natural supports, typically through family, and 12 new community partnerships were formed. In terms of housing and employment, 6 individuals were housed, 3 permanently and 3 in transitional spaces. 7 participants gained employment with program support, and 23 participants are now document ready, which makes them eligible for subsidized housing. For some highlights, we've had 1 participant reduced police contact from 28 interactions in 6 months to 0 interactions. Participant-led group programming emerged, fostering peer support. Participants with complex needs received 24/7 support during medical recovery. And we had a pet-friendly pilot, which enabled a long-term unsheltered individual and his dog to successfully stabilize in housing. There's group programming. The weekly sessions, which average around 12 participants, includes art therapy, steps to recovery, shared experience discussions, life skills, resilience workshops, creative writing, strength-based recovery workshops. In terms of comparative benefits for bridge housing versus emergency shelter, because I know that as this was raised at the pre-budget meeting last week, the bridge housing program offers several advantages over previous seasonal shelter models. It offers improved retention through day and evening shifts, eliminating burnout linked to overnight shelter work for the staff. There's no seasonal shutdown. Consistent housing and services are offered. There's structured support, daily routines, life skills, and accountability. Greater number of individuals are served annually compared to the shelter model, leading to greater improved outcomes. There's reduced resilience or reduced reliance on emergency services and healthcare, and increased housing readiness. And we also have a much stronger partnership now with CMHA and other agencies that can align resources and strategic priorities around a long-term solution. For operational considerations, for the emergency shelter viability model that was discussed There is insufficient time, staffing capacity, or interest to reestablish a shelter model for the winter of 25-26. And an emergency shelter model does not provide short or long-term solutions. There's a risk of program disruption by reducing or ending the bridge housing program. It could jeopardize housing stock, critical partnerships, and participant progress. Before you in the report, there's funding and service agreement options. We indicated option 1 is a 24-month agreement with CMHA. It had a total cost of approximately $1.8 million over 2 years. The levy impact for those 2 years would be $429,000. Option 1, which is the 24-month agreement, it provides program stability, staff retention, and long-term care continuity. Option 2 is a 12-month agreement with CMHA. The total cost is $925,000. The county levy impact after we've utilized our provincial funding is $190,000. This offers short-term continuity, but less stability for participants and staff. CMHA has repeatedly told us that it's more difficult to retain staff for a 1-year contract as opposed to a 2-year contract, and the way their fee structure is established. Our recommendation is option 1, a 2-year agreement with better support, long-term planning, participant outcomes, and retention of qualified staff. In conclusion, the Bridge Housing and Stability Program is a proven effective model that moves beyond emergency responses to homelessness. It provides not just shelter, but a sustainable path to housing, recovery, and reintegration. It preserves critical partnerships, housing assets, and community trust while reducing systemic costs related to healthcare and crisis services, such as EMS, policing, and follow-up with judicial. The Bridge Housing and Stability Program is separate from the Gibbons Street property. Although we have earmarked 10 units in Gibbons for homeless individuals, we still require the Bridge Housing and Stability Program to continue to operate throughout Huron County. It's possible that the business case to Ontario Health for funding may not be successful this year with the funding to assist 10 high acuity homeless individuals. And we will move towards partnerships with 2 agencies instead to assist 10 low to medium acuity homeless individuals, not our original target demographic, but still assisting homeless individuals. These 10 units will be supported by the respective agency's budget. Continued investment in this model aligns with best practices, supports the county's strategic goals, and treats people with dignity. This concludes the overview of today's report.
All right, thank you, Barbara. I'm going to go to council if there's any comments or questions to Barbara concerning this bridge housing. Councillor Dietrich, please.
Thank you. Just under option 1 and option 2, there's a variance on the county level. One goes from 429,566, and then for the 1 year it's 191,49. Can you just kind of explain the difference of why it shouldn't be half?
Barbara, please.
Yes, thank you. Through you, Warden. There's a difference between that. There's some donations that we had put forward in year 1, and there's also a percentage increase that CMHA put forward. I think it was just a small percentage increase for staff. Jamie, do you know the difference? 2%. And any other differences there? Sorry, I'm deferring to Jamie for just a second. I think that's the majority of, and then just utilizing the way that our HPP, our homelessness prevention program dollars work. So between the donation piece and the modest increase that CMHA has put forward for a cost of living increase for staff.
Okay, Councillor Finch and then Councillor Anderson.
Thank you. Through the warden, I like the option 1 that you've come up with. I think it's a great idea. The reason I like that best is because it'll carry us through till 2027, October 31st, 2027. If we did a year, we're talking the next election, and that could create some chaos in the actual process. So I like option 1. I agree with, I would move that when it comes up.
Okay, Councillor Anderson, Councillor Klopp, and then past Warden McNeil.
Thank you, Warden. Just for clarification, what all locations is this offered in?
The Bridge Housing Program? Oh, it's throughout Huron County. So where individuals are struggling, the team would be dispatched and to be on that caseload. It depends where CMHA has touchdown space as well. in those particular communities. But it is a Huron County initiative.
Councillor Klopp, please.
Yeah, under option 1 and then option 2, the 190, I did do a real quick. The public donation seems to be about the same amount in option 1 or option 2. I thought I heard some comment on that. But as I read down further, then the levy amounts outlined above reflect portions of bridge housing, the attached report homelessness and Gibbons. Then we're talking funding of 310,219. Is the 310,219 part of both option 1 and option 2?
Barbara, can you address that, please?
Thank you. And through you, Warden, just for clarification, that's the difference between, is that what you're suggesting? The 310? Between the 2 year, the levy difference? No, because it's less than that. I'm not sure what 310,000 is.
If I may, I'm referring to this underneath the option 2 report. It starts off, the levy amount outlined above reflects the portion allocated to bridge housing. The attached, then it further indicates that the total levy funding for homelessness program will be 310,219. So if we go with option 1, is that 310 included in there? And if we go with option 2, it's actually 190,149 plus 310,219. That's what I'm wondering. Where is this 310?
I believe our treasurer, Michael, is going to answer that.
Yeah, sorry, Barb, just that 310,000, that is looking at the full levy contribution for the homelessness program. So if you recalled in our discussions last week, we were looking at, here's the cost of what we were putting into the homelessness program above and beyond the minister or the provincial funding plus Gibbons. So that 310 is the plus Gibbons. So it's in addition to what we would be paying for Gibbons. So it is that contract of the 190 plus it's just showing that there's some additional costs that are going to be included in our budget. So we can see there that staff salaries that are going to be shown in our 2026 budget for the homelessness program. So that's looking at the homelessness program as a whole, and that 190 is part of that. So this is just showing council the full picture of what the homelessness program is going to cost, plus then Gibbons will be on top of that. So that's where the 310 is from.
Follow up, Councillor Klopp.
Okay, thank you. It's got down here a third paragraph, and it says, additionally, the total annual operating levy cost for Gibbons Street program and affordable housing initiative is 448,000. So is 448 the result of 190, 149 plus 310? I'm just asking. Clarification.
Michael, please.
That will be in addition to the 310. So it'll be the 310 plus Gibbons.
So option 2, we will be looking at 448, 310 plus 190.
No, sorry, it's 310 plus 488. The 190 is embedded in the 310.
Thank you. And then option 2 or option 1, we have a county levy of 429,500. What's the total would be if we go with option 1?
Yeah.
So Barbara's going to take that one.
Thank you. Yeah, sorry. And through you, Warren. Yes, that is the 2 years. So that includes, that's the levy piece for the bridge housing program. And then you have Gibbons Street on top of that. The Gibbons operational costs, the amount that Mike had said earlier. Keep in mind that within the operational costs of the Gibbons, it has the after hour supports in there at $150,000.
So then to be clear, it's 429 plus 448 in option 1.
That's correct.
Thank you.
All right, past Warden McNeil, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Warden, and through you, I also support staff's recommendation of option 1. This challenge is not going to go away. Continuity is very, very important, and key is the wraparound services. We have learned that that is the most effective component for a positive outcome. So I would also support the option 1 as presented by staff. Thank you.
Councillor Anderson, please.
Thank you, Warden. This is a valuable service that we offer, but I think the more that County Council picks up, the less the other levels of government are going to put into this. And we've seen that with other things that they just keep downloading. And I would like to stay within the amount that the other levels of government give us.
A good point. Councillor Klopp? You're just playing with your microphone. Okay.
Try again.
Any other comments from council? Past Warden Ginn, please.
I think the key point to me is the fact that there's probably those costs anyways. They're just going elsewhere, like in OPP policing and in paramedics and the likes of that. I agree with past Warden McNeil that this issue is not going away. So on behalf, or other than just on compassionate grounds of doing the right thing for these people, I think there's costs borne elsewhere that we're really not going to save any money. It's taken our emergency people away from the jobs that they're designed to do, some of these calls, and you know, nobody likes to spend these dollars, but I just have to support option 1.
Councillor Basnet, please.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Warden. I am so happy that Councillor Ginn, past Warden Ginn, stated that, because that is something that we have to have in our mindset here, is if we're not going to provide the dollars are going to be spent elsewhere in different departments because of it. So I want to thank past Warden Ginn for bringing that forward.
Councillor Klopp.
There's no question the program seems to be working. That isn't the issue for me. It's option 2 is a little more money. It seems a little bit of savings money, I should say. Maybe that's wrong English. However, when I hear the argument, well, 1 year, it's hard to keep staff versus 2 year. If it'd be a 4-year program, I would think that would be a little more argument. I thought I heard someone say it's going to be an election year and that'll be messy. Well, that I don't get that as ask either. Life goes on. So I won't be supporting option 1. I think option 2, and to the point too, where we're trying to get the government provincially to take ownership. And I think that's kind of the angle I'm working at, still get the job done. And so I would support option 2, so I won't be supporting this motion.
And I believe Barbara has some follow-up for us as well.
Thank you, Warden. I was just going to offer as well, I ran some numbers in terms of the demographic within Gibbons Street. I ran those earlier. So the 10 units that are being earmarked for individuals from our homeless, our by name list, we're offering those at maximum ODSP shelter, which is $599 a month. If for some reason we didn't go that direction in terms of 10 units for our homeless individuals, which was the intent of Gibbons to begin with, I ran the numbers and they would be offered at $1,000 a month. So extrapolating that, it's only a difference of $48,000 in a year. That would make the difference between offering those 10 units to medium and low acuity individuals as compared to all affordable. And this way we still have the ability to offer 10 units at Gibbons Street for low and medium individuals, low and medium acuity individuals from our by name list, if that helps to provide any perspective as well.
Okay, last opportunity for council. Councillor Heffer, please.
Yes, thank you, Warden. I have to go along with what Councillor Klopp said. Go with 1 year. I just feel with new council coming in, I'd rather just the amount of money that it's going to be costing us for this year, and and then go from there. And I'm hoping there could be some positive things where maybe it can go the other way. To me, we're being told it's going to keep going up. Maybe it will, but I like to think that some things might turn around. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to go back to council. What is your wish on this? Counselor Finch, please.
I would move option one as suggested by staff.
So option one has been put forward as a motion, seconded by past Warden McNeil.
Yes.
And before I call the question, I'm just going to remind council that a decision, just be careful in a decision that could bind a future council. So with that, I'm going to call the question. Those in favor of option one, the 24-month program for the bridge funding. Hands up, please. That motion is defeated. Do I have another option from council here? Councillor Heffer, please.
Thank you, Warden. I'll go with option two, please.
So the motion put forward for option two. Do I have a seconder for option two? That is Councillor Goderich. And I'm going to ask council, hands up so I can see them, please. Those in favor of option number two. That option is carried. Thank you, Barbara. We're now moving on to Public Works in our agenda, and Wyatt is available for us to answer any questions regarding the update on ACW traffic. So is there any questions for Wyatt regarding that report? Past Warden McNeil, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Warden. As opposed to a question, it's a comment. Thank you very much to Imran for looking into this, and your response back to us on this makes a lot of sense. So thank you very much for your deliberation with this for the safety of human beings. Thank you.
Okay, Councillor Klopp, are you moving your hand? Oh, just agreeing. Okay, all right. So was that sounding like a motion and a seconder then?
I'd be happy to do that.
All right, thank you for that. And Klopp would second that. Councillor Basnet, do you have okay, all right. Those in favor? That is carried. And speed limit bylaw amendment. And again, Wyatt is here for answering questions if you would have any. And if not, Councillor Klopp.
I can move the motion, just more process. I guess this relates to Blue Water sent in requests and we had these formal bylaws, and that's how it happens that you change the signage. Okay, just wanted to be clear, we're directions.
Okay. Motion moved, seconded by Councillor Finch. Those in favor? And that is carried. Under correspondence, is there anything from that list that anybody wants to speak to? Councillor Finch, please.
Yeah, thank you. Under 14.9, the letter from the Avon Maitland District School Board. Just wondering if where we are with that in regards to a delegation at Roma. Has there been any opportunity this time to apply?
So I'm going to turn that over to CAO Work. For some comment, please.
Yeah, certainly haven't had any confirmation of any sort of delegation at Roma, but have received the request from County Council and will let you know once we have that correspondence.
Thank you very much.
Anything else anybody wants to pull from that list of correspondence? And if not, then I'd be looking for a motion to receive the correspondence. That's Councillor Goderich, seconded by Councillor Vanstone. Those in favor? That is carried. Under unfinished business, Sarah Kurtz is here to present to us this Township of Howick change of condition. Welcome, Sarah, and when you're ready, go ahead.
Thank you, Warden and members of council. I'll briefly present to you a change of conditions report for consent application C46 2023, which was a surplus farm dwelling severance located in Howick. The reason this application is before you again today is because originally it was a disputed consent, and as a formal process requires County Council for your final approval. So provisional consent was granted by County Council January 2024, which included condition number 9, which recognizes that a qualified purchaser, Mr. Reichert, was going to purchase the retained lands. Mr. Reichert is no longer purchasing the retained lands and instead A new purchaser who also qualifies for the severance will be listed in this condition instead. The proposed change here doesn't relate to the original dispute of the consent. The question of whether the application qualified as a surplus farm dwelling severance was not in dispute. So this proposed amendment is considered minor, and it does maintain the intent of the original approval by County Council. At the September 30th council meeting in Howick Council did recommend approval, and planning is recommending approval as well, with the attached recommended approval in the report.
Thank you, Sarah, for the new information. Council? Pass word again, please.
I'll just move the motion.
So motion moved, seconded by Councillor Finch, and those that would be in favor of that. And that is carried. Thank you for the information, Sarah. Is there any notice of motion? Seeing none, we'll move on to bylaws, and I'd be looking for a mover and a seconder for the 5 bylaws that are presented as amended, as bylaw number 25075 would be amended to adjust the decision that we made just a few moments ago regarding the bridge housing. So that with that amendment, I'd be looking for someone to move. That was Councillor McClellan. Councillor Harding would second that. Those in favor? That is carried. We do have a close to the public session, so I would be looking for a motion that we would go into a closed session. That is Councillor Goderich. Past Warden Ginn would second that. Those in favor? That is carried. And I'll let the clerk get everything geared up for closed session.
Thank you.
So I now be looking for a motion to re-enter our open session of council. And that's Councillor Becker. Past Warden Ginn would second that. Those in favor? That is carried. Just to make you aware of the special session of council this afternoon, and the time has changed to 12 o'clock. Reporting out of closed session before I get too far ahead to adjournment.
Yeah, thank you very much through you, Mr. Warden. Purpose of going into closed session today was to receive advice subject to solicitor-client privilege relating to a courthouse space lease, as well as our forest conservation bylaw court cases.
Okay, thank you for that, Megan. So now we'll go on to our upcoming meetings, and the time change for 12 o'clock, and that will be at the Goderich Royal Canadian Legion. And for those that aren't as familiar with Goderich's hotspots, Mayor Bazinet, could you just point us in the general direction of where we go for that?
I don't even need my microphone, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Out the front doors, which is the South Street Plaza, and just I don't know, make a little left, go down Kingston, and you can't miss it. It's right there, right?
Thank you for that. All things Goderich.
And for Councillor Klopp, go to the right and head to West Street.
Without motor
So we are at the point in our agenda where we need someone to confirm our actions for the morning. Someone willing to do that? Pass Warden Ginn. Councillor Heffer seconds that. Those in favor? That is carried. And Councillor Goderich, anything you want to add at this point in the meeting?
I think it's time to adjourn.
So adjournment and a seconder for that, Councillor Heffer. Those in favor? That is carried. Thank you very much for your attention this morning.